Hey, all right, everybody. Look, I've got another box. Right, okay, so what's inside this box today? Well, on the front there, it says VARUN. So let's have a quick look what's inside the box, put it together, then have a look at the bike. So there is quite a few things in the box. You've got your rear rack there, front mudguard, another box, another box, another box. You've got the seat posts, you've got a side stand, another box, and the front wheel. So let's have a look what's inside these boxes here. So that box is a pump. This box is to hold your phone. This one has the charger. Then in this box here, we've got a lock. We've got the rear light. We've got the front axle. We've got the rear seat. We've got pedals. We've got spanners and stuff. And we've got the instructions at the bottom of the box. Right, okay, so this is me in the future. Now, I've just finished doing the review on this bike, and I was just doing the downhill part, came around the corner, almost went into a car. So be careful out there on the bike. So if you want to see that later on in the video, keep watching. And if you haven't subscribed, do me a favour, click the subscribe button. It doesn't cost a penny and it helps me a lot. Anyway, let's get back on with the video. Okay, so here it is, all put together. Now, I'll put the full name by here. So that is the full name of the bike. It is a 48 volt e-bike, so it's going to have a bit more torque. So going up the hills is going to be a lot easier on this bike than 36 volt e-bikes. But anyway, let's have a bit of a closer look at this bike. So a bit of a closer look, you can see nice wells there. We've got a front fork. Then the battery is housed in the frame. Above the frame, there's the charging port there like that, and I've just lost the cover. It just flew off. I'll pick that up in a second. You can remove it. There's the lock to remove it. If we go down here, down there, look, it is a cadence sensor. Then we go to the back there. There's the hub motor. Like I said, 48 volts. Then we have got a rear rack as well. Now, looking here at the tyres and the brakes and the wheels, the tyres are 700 times 40C, so they are quite a thin tyre. I think it's about 28 inches this wheel is, if you put it into, you know, the sort of imperial measurements. Then down here, 160mm disc, and we have got cable operated brakes. So this is what it looks like with me sitting on the bike. I'm 5'10", 178 centimeters or 1.78 meters. If I put my hands on the handlebars, I am in a fairly upright position. It has got adjustable handlebars, so you can tilt it that way and that way. I've put them up because I like to be sitting more upright, and it is quite comfortable. Okay, so looking up here on the handlebars, we have got a 7-speed Shimano. Then we've got the bell, so let's give the bell a bit of a ringy ding. There we go, there's the bell, nice and loud. Come across here to this here, the display here. We have got 5 levels of pedal assist. We've got your on-off button. We've got the light button if you hold that down. And we've got the walk function button. And there's one more thing I've noticed. On the brake levers here, there is like a threaded insert on this one and that one there. And that means probably that you can put bike mirrors on and they'll fit into the brake levers. Here we have the magnet of truth. So, handlebars, some form of aluminium. This bit coming down here, some form of aluminium. The frame looks like aluminium, so let's just test it. Yes, it is some form of aluminium. Then we go to the mudguards. They look like they're plastic. Pedal arms there, some form of aluminium, and the pedals are actually plastic. If we go to this rear rack here, like that, that is made of steel. And then if we go to the seat post here, that is aluminium. So, most of the bike is some form of aluminium. The rack at the back is made of steel. Looking down here at the back of the bike, at the light, let's turn the light on by holding the plus button down. So there we go, it should come on in a second. And there we go, there's the rear light, but there is no brake light. So let's have a quick look around the front. And there we go, there's the front light as well. Now, it does come with 2 keys for the battery. Let's give it a bit of a turn like that. Give it a bit of a pull there. That pops out like that. It has got a bit of weight to it. Now, I'll look at the specs on this little label by here. Actually, I'll bring this label in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about. So, voltage 47.45 volts, capacity 10.4 amp hours, or 493 watt hours, discharge current 18 amps, and charge current 3 amps. Okay then, there we go. Let's get this bike out on the old open road. Right, okay, here we are, out on the open road. So, I think the first thing I'm going to do is a speed test, and I'm going to turn around and go that way. So, because it's 48 volt, once I start pedaling like this, okay, it does pick up speed pretty quick, and it gets to the maximum of 15.5 miles an hour pretty quickly. We are doing 15.4 and it's cut out. So I expect this bike to be pretty good on the hills, because I can feel a nice bit of shove coming in, because like I said, it's a 48 volt e-bike, so you will have more torque in the motor, and it does feel like it has got more torque. So let's head to the mountain. Right, okay, here we go onto the mountain road. It is a bit windy today. You probably can't hear the wind, but it's a bit windy, and it did say it's forecast rain in about 30 minutes time. So you're probably going to see me riding the bike in the pouring rain. Well, hopefully not. There's a car behind me. I'm going to pull over by here. There's a car behind me. Do-da-da-da-da-do. Oh, that car just drove past, and I can smell some funny stuff, if you know what I mean. Right, so I'm going to go a slightly different way today, because it can become a little bit tedious going the same place all the time. Now, I have been this way before, but not usually. Right, first bit of a hill to go up, and easy peasy. Really easy, actually. I didn't have to put any pressure on the pedals at all then. So, first hill is a win. Now, a little bit further ahead of me by here, there is a bit of a downhill. Then there's quite a big hill, so we'll give this bike a bit of a hill test to see what it's like going up that hill. And I'm just going to make my way through this bit by here, over to the other side, and then down the hill. Now, I wonder if this bike is one of them speedometers that doesn't go past 15.5. No, it's on 18 miles an hour, so we're okay. It does show the full speed. We got up to 21 miles per hour going down that bit of a hill there. But I'll have to find a better hill to do a hill test. But anyway, let's carry on this way now. And you might wonder why I'm shouting a bit, but it's really windy. But this microphone here doesn't pick up the wind noise, so I don't know why I'm shouting for, to be honest. Anyway, come on, let's get up this hill. Now, I'm filming this, and it's June the 7th, and the weather has really taken a turn for the worst, because we had the big heat wave in May, but now it's quite cold, and this van's going quite fast. Blimey, that van was going fast. Now, I'm going up a hill, if you haven't noticed, and it is a steep hill, but I'm actually ghost pedaling up this hill. So, 48 volts. Now, I think there's a bit of a tunnel up by here, so we'll get to the tunnel. It's only a small tunnel, but I think it's pretty dark, and we'll have a quick peek at the headlight. Right, I think there's a tunnel by here to the right. You probably can't see it yet, but it is there. There it is, look. So there's a tunnel by here. Only a small one. Probably not dark enough to test the headlight, but it's the best I got at the moment. So I'll stop here, because the shadow is in front of me. I'll pop the front light on, like that. And there we go. Can you see it there, look? There we go. I think I got in the right place. It's quite a narrow beam. Let's put it on the wall there. So you can see it is quite bright, because we're not in complete darkness. So I'd say that is a fairly decent light. It's adequate. one of my favourite words, adequate. Anyway, now I'm not going to go that way. Believe it or not, people actually live under this tunnel and up there. Let me just go forward a bit. It's a bit muddy, but I'll just show you. If I come around the corner here, like this, like that. So people actually live right at the top of this hill here, and it's quite a hill to get up. It gets worse as it goes around the corner, but there's actually people living up there. So you've got to have the right kind of car to get up and down here. I think there's a couple of houses up there, and definitely is, because I've been up there before on a bike. Not on this bike though, because this bike is not suited to that terrain. So anyway, let's carry on. I'll stop waffling and we'll get on with the bike ride, going that way, back under the tunnel. Right, okay, so we're on a bit of a hill. I come to a stop, so let's just see how long the crank takes to rotate for the cadence sensor to kick in. So here we go. Oh, half a turn. So it's exactly half a turn for the cadence sensor to get in. So further along this road here, there is a big, steep, long hill. So we'll give it a bit more of a test. And then when I turn around and come back this way, I can come back down the steep, big, long hill. And then we can see how fast we can get on this bike. Now it has got very skinny tyres. They're really skinny. It is, it's a sort of a bike. I've said this before, but it is a bike. And I'll just see what it's like to pedal without any assistance. So I'll put it on 0 assistance now, and then we'll try and pedal the bike as a bike. So here we go. So I can just pedal this bike. I'm in gear 5. The road is flat, but I'm just trying to pedal it as a bike, and it doesn't feel that difficult to pedal along, because obviously the wheels and tyres, they're skinny and they're light, so it is quite easy to pedal down the road. So if the battery did run out, you probably could pedal the bike home, obviously if you're fit enough. But anyway, let's carry on to the big hill. And that was a big massive bird in front of me then. That was huge. That was ginormous, that bird then. I keep seeing all these birds of prey. Anyway, the big hill is coming. I'm slightly going uphill now, and I'm still in gear 5, and I'm on pedal level assist 0. So, and I've got to test the walk function. So I'll stop on this hill somewhere to test the walk function. Right, so I don't know if you can see on camera, but we're on the start of the hill now, and this hill does go on for quite some time, so it's a good test for this bike. We've still got a full battery on the battery bar, so we might get a bit of battery sag on this hill because it does go on for quite some time. So it's getting a little bit steeper now, but I'm still ghost pedaling. A little bit steeper again as we get around this corner, and then where you can see the shade up ahead of me, it gets very steep there, so we'll give this bike a really good testing by here now. Still ghost pedaling, we're doing 12 miles per hour. Now I've got some pressure on the pedals. Still getting up here. I have got to put a bit of pressure on you now because this is extremely steep. I might have to go into gear 1. I'm in gear 1 now, and I think that was the steepest part there, so we've made that. And I'm sort of hardly not touching the pedals now, but we're still on a steep hill. So let's keep going. Let's get to the top of this hill, see what it's like. Keep going. There's still a bit to go. And you can see, look, I'm not puffed out at all. It is getting up here easy. And this is quite, this is quite the steep hill, and it would be very energetic without assistance. Nearly to the top. Here we go. Not far away now. A little bit steeper over there then. And it's going to level off any second now. Here we go, we're almost to the top. Here we go. And it's flattening out. And there we go. Isn't that fantastic? So there we go. 48 volts for the win. Now, I'm just going to turn around by here because I think there's a nice view by here and you can't miss a nice view. Right, okay, so this is the view that I thought was a nice view. And it is a nice view, but it's also a blighted view. So there's the sheep, look. Hello, sheep! And you can see all the cables going along there. Not a pretty sight, are they? I think it'd be nice if they were underground. But anyway, a couple of lambs there, look. Hello, lambs! Anyway, and there's the bike, and that bike got me up the hill easily. And look how skinny them tyres are. I'm used to the fat tyre e-bikes, but this has got very thin wheels and is easy to pedal. Anyway, I might carry on that way, or I might go back down that way, down there, a bit, so I can do the walk function. Right, I've come back down the hill so we can try the walk function. So, engage the walk function button, like so, and here we go. And let's feel the strength of that. Can I stop it? Yeah, so I can stop it quite easy, but it is taking the weight of the bike up here. It's taking the weight of the bike and pulling me up the hill ever so slightly. So it's not too bad. Not the strongest walk function in the world, but it does take the weight completely off the bike and it does give you a slight bit of assistance up the hill. So we'll call that a win for the walk function. So I have found a road by here. I might go up this road. I might do a bit of off-roading. I can't quite get around it, so it is blocked off. That doesn't open, does it? No. So I might take the bike up round there and do a little bit of off-roading. Now, I don't know how far this road goes, and I don't think this road is suitable for this bike, but I'll just take a little ride up here and see what it's like. Well, I got this far, and then there's a big... I'm not going to go through there. So I think that'll end the bike ride this way. I'm going to go back that way. Okay, now, if there's any links or codes, they will be down in the description below. So go and check it out. Now, I'm going to carry on this way. I'm going to get back to that big hill, and I'm going to go down the hill as fast as possible. And like I said before, some people in the comment section have said, why do you do a downhill speed test for? And the simple reason is, I just want to see what the bike is like at speed, because when you ride a bike, at some point, you're going to get to a downhill bit where you're going to go fast. And this is why I do the downhill tests, because you just want to see what it's like at speed. Does it feel wobbly at speed? Does it feel a bit, uneasy at speed? A lot of cars coming through as well. So the speed test downhill is exactly what it is. I know I'm waffling on, but that's what it is. It's just to check what the bike is like at speed. So let's get down to the hill. Right, here we go then, steep hill engaged. Well, not yet. When we get around this corner by here, and we're only doing 11 miles per hour at the moment. So here we go. It's too steep. It's too steep. I don't like it. All right. 24 miles per hour. Whoa! Oh! Now, lucky I put the brakes on there, wasn't it? Oh my God! Here we go! 27 miles per hour, 27.5 miles per hour, 28 miles per hour, 28.6 miles per hour. Oh! I think that's about as fast as it's going to go. 28.6 miles per hour, and now we're leveling off. Now, let's let the bike slow down a little bit when we get by here. Once I get off this hill, I'll have a little chat. I don't know if you've seen my other e-bike videos, and I've always said that, you know, if I can't see around a corner, I'll pull the brakes because there might be a vehicle coming the other way. And that's exactly what happened. If I hadn't pulled the brakes in that corner, I would have come a cropper. So there we go. There is a bit of a danger element involved in going down these hills at full speed. Now, the full speed would have been more if I didn't pull the brakes, but I had to pull the brakes. So there we go. So, saying that, we'll go down here now, get to 15.5 miles per hour somewhere, and I'll pull the brakes as hard as I can, and we'll see how quick the bike stops, because I think it's 160mm disc brakes and cable operated. So, there we go. Now, I could have gone faster, but if I was a teenager and, you know, didn't have that sort of, what's that, self-preservation mode, I probably would have gone down here without brakes and come a cropper. So there we go. That's why you can't go around a blind bend on a bike fast, because the corner will take you to the middle of the road and then you come a cropper. But anyway, I survived that. So let's go down here now. Get the 15.5 miles per hour. Check there's no cars behind me. There's nothing behind me. Ready, steady, cook. Actually, that didn't stop too bad. Let me just get off the bike. Was there any marks on the road? So, there's no marks on the road at all, but the bike actually stopped quite quick. And there was a little squeak. I don't know what the little squeak was, but the bike stopped very, very well. Now, I'll go down by here. And another thing I haven't done is check the seat for squishiness. So let's get down by there. Right, okay, the seat. Now, the seat, I would say that it's fairly squishy. Look at that there. That's got quite a bit of squish there, and in the front there. Look, there's a bit of squish there. It's a fairly, here's my hand for reference, so it's quite wide as well. When you're sitting on it, it's firmish, but with a bit of squish. That's the best way I can describe it. So that's the seat. So anyway, let's carry on down that way somewhere. Down here, look. Down there. I'm going to go back down that way there. I just came from that way, and now I'm going to go that way on that bike. That way. Right, okay. Let's get through this gate. Is there enough room for me to get through? I don't think there is. Oh, I'll have to stop. Right, okay, then I'm making my way back off this off-road part, trying to get back onto proper tarmac. But this bike has actually gone off-road as well, which is quite nice. So I've done a bit of on-road, bit of off-road, up a hill, down a hill. It's done it all. So it's a pretty good bike. Anyway, I'm gonna take a right by here somewhere. I think it's down by here. It's overgrown now, so I can't exactly see what it is. But let's watch these rocks. I don't want to get a punch on spiky rocks. But I'm gonna take a right by here, like this, onto this path here, and then I rung the bell then as well, by the way. I'm back in civilization. Anyway, I think I'm gonna make my way back. Okay then, that's the end of the review. Now, if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, hype, comment, do all them beautiful things, and I will catch you in the next one.